Good day, colleagues. This is the second video of the 2024 Report Card Simulator walkthrough, which covers the academic achievement, preparing for success, and student progress indicators for elementary and middle schools. Let's begin with the academic achievement and preparing for success indicators. Academic achievement is entered in this section of the simulator by entering the counts of students who exceed, meet, approach, and do not meet expectations for the English Language Arts SC Ready and or the ALT, and for the mathematics test, the SC Ready or the ALT. This is all according to the manual. Table 3 indicates that both the SC Ready and the SC ALT translate to the same number of indicator points. Both tests are scored on 4 achievement levels, and so they can be entered into the same area of the report card simulator. Now, I've generated some sample data for 100 students in grades 3 through 5 at Sample Elementary School, and we'll work with this data. I've gone ahead and summarized already that data for SC Ready achievement so that I can enter it. Now, note that in my pivot table, this is alphabetical, not according to the order of the achievement levels. So approaches expectations is here, 37 and 32. When I go to the simulator, I'll put that in approaches, 37 and 32. Now, for approaches expectations, I've entered that. Now, because this is greater than 20 students, I can see that the estimated points have been calculated and the rating has been assigned. Understanding that I haven't filled in all the data, it's an incomplete picture yet. So let me go ahead and real fast just finish moving all that data into this area. Now that the data is entered, you can see that my participation rate is 98% because I have 2 ELA tests that were not taken and 2 math tests that were not taken. A quick note about the participation rate. Participation is calculated as it's described in the accountability manual. That means that if one of these students took the math test and one of these students took the ELA test, then the participation rate would actually be higher because both of those students would be considered participants. Participation rate is estimated based on the information that you've entered into the simulator. So keep in mind that you have to consult the manual and the federally approved state plan as the final word on what's going to happen in accountability. But this is still suitable to give you a guideline. Also note that the participation rate is being checked against the required 95% participation rate, and if participation is less than the required level, the penalties described in the accountability manual will be applied. So let me just change this to 12. That takes us below the 95% required participation. And not only did the rating go down because these 12 students would have earned 0 indicator points, but in this formula, there's a little if statement here that checks the participation rate, and if that participation rate is below 95%, applies the 5-point penalty that's described in the manual. So let me go ahead and correct that back to what my data actually says, and this will calculate those points and that rating based on the data that I've entered. Preparing for success is scored in a very similar way and calculated in a very similar way, and so this section of the report card simulator is virtually identical to the other. However, in 2024, the SC Ready Science exam is going through a field test, and so achievement levels will not be assigned for purposes of accountability. Per the accountability manual and the federally approved waiver, participation rate is going to apply. So you need to fill in this participation rate here. If participation falls below the required 95% participation rate, then you'll see that this cell turns red and it will apply the 5-point penalty described in the manual to the overall points. However, if that participation rate is greater than 95%, then no penalty is applied and the other points will be calculated as they are. That concludes video 2, which is about the academic achievement and preparing for success indicators. As you noticed, I've trimmed the student progress indicator and put that in video 3. I'm trying to keep these videos between 5 and 7 minutes. It just makes sense to break it up. So join us for video 3 to talk about student progress.